Oh my god, hey!
Hello.
Happy Olivier Awards Day, everybody.
Very exciting.
It is Sunday. We just got back from New York. We flew in yesterday, and boy are our arms tired. And we've gone from Manhattan to the polar opposite, not geographically, but we are in the Royal Borough of Kensington today,
Yes.
on our way to the Royal Albert Hall for the Olivier Awards. We're going to just watch, and that's as official a capacity as we're going to be there in. We're not doing anything else particularly exciting. We're not on the carpet or chatting to people afterwards, because if you do that, then you miss the show. And I like to watch. I love awards shows. I like to watch, I like to see, I like to listen to the speeches. This is our third award show of the season.
Oh yeah, Stage Awards, Watson Stage Awards.
Yeah. I was working the Watson Stage Awards, so it'd be nice today to just kick back and relax at the Oliviers while still making a note of the goings on, and waiting to see who wins. Basically, is the number one question.
Isn't it?
This is my second Olivier Award, so I went for the first time with you last year. I am wearing a sparklier jacket this time with a matching silver shoe. You know what? I'll show you when we get there. We'll talk outfits when we get there. But yes, on our way to the Oliviers. I have no idea what this video is going to be. I might do a bit afterwards where I talk through the winners. I might show you a little bit of our reaction in the room if we can. So this is just the Oliviers vlog, and we will see what it will be. Oh my god, hey!
Hello.
We are here post Olivier Awards 2023.
And we are still in our outfits from the ceremony.
We are. We do not wear this around the house. There are two things before we begin today's video that you must know. One, the Olivier Awards in person begins at 5:30. Though you don't see the highlights on ITV until much later, it begins at 5:30. And if you want to sort of mingle beforehand, take nice pictures behind, see some of the stars arriving on the green carpet, you arrive a little bit earlier.
Yep.
So we have not had dinner.
No, and it lasted until 10.
It did. So that is one thing you must know. The other thing that you must know in conjunction with that thing is that we were celebrating, and drinks are a lot cheaper in the UK than in the US, where we literally just got back from. We were in New York until Saturday morning. We landed. Sunday we went to the Oliviers. I don't know how we did it either. But we did not eat, and champagne is not cheap, but cheaper here. So I did buy a bottle of champagne. So we have not had dinner, and we have drunk between us a bottle of champagne. Mm-hmm. So that's the vibe of this evening's video. But basically, we're just gonna do some post Olivier Awards discussion, analysis, thoughts. We're going to go over the results of our predictions to see who won, to see who was more correct, and if our McDonald's Deliveroo arrives in that time, then this is going to become one of those, what do they call those videos where people...
Mukbang.
Oh, I don't like that.
That's what the word is.
I don't like the word. Gosh. Should we show you our outfits to begin with? Would that be a fun way to start? Should we do a fashion moment? I mean, you can see most of it from here. Mickey Jo is wearing silver. It said glamorous. So the tie matches the suit, and it goes from silver to black, which is what my trousers are. And the shoes, help me. Ah! Silver shoes. Very Hermes from Hadestown. Put me down. There we go. Aeron is in all...
Moss Bros.
Moss Bros. He is in Moss Bros.
3-piece suit.
3-piece, all in green.
Yes.
Looking handsome.
Thank you.
With your nice green bow tie.
Yes.
In any case, let's start talking about the Oliviers. So, first thing... what is it like to be at the Olivier? So this was my second time at the ceremony in person. I went with you last year. But you've been many more times.
4 or 5.
Yeah, so do you want to give us an overview of what it's like as an attendee at the Oliviers? First of all, how do you get to the Oliviers?
So the Oliviers were never normally at the Royal Albert Hall. I've only ever been since they've been there. There is the invited crowd, which is people that have worked on these shows, so Assault members, Assault watchers, etc. And there's people like us, who then are members of the public who buy tickets, and they're normally seated higher up in the auditorium. Everybody upstairs has booked tickets via MasterCard. And it's normally a good vibe up there because the casts are always up there, pre and post performances. And it's really fun. There's a green carpet that's always outside where all the performers walk and get their photos done and do interviews, etc. What's kind of cool is that as a member of the public, you can watch all of this, and they normally have pens where members of the public can queue to be into, but we normally stand on the opposite side of the road because you can see everybody from there. I started filming a little bit earlier to see if I was going to start doing an Olivier's vlog. Maybe I'll put the footage in here right now.
Okay, we are stood outside the front of the Royal Albert Hall. We are not on the green carpet or anything fancy like that, but we are celeb watching. We've just spotted some of the cast of Tammy Faye. We spotted Arlene Phillips, Dame Arlene Phillips, and the cast of Oklahoma are currently over there having photos done. Marisha looks great. So to give you the lay of the land as we see it from here, that is the Royal Albert Hall where the event is to be taking place. We have the steps going up, very grand, and then the people you're seeing behind the barricades on the sides, those are members of the general public who have queued up in order to see the stars. There's two different entrances at the front here. I think this one is if you're not walking the carpet, and the other side then passes through a photo call against a step and repeat wall, and then you can speak to different outlets down at the front here who are doing video interviews. The cast of Grease are just coming through now. I don't think you can see any of them necessarily, but you're just going to have to believe me. Arthur Darvill doing an interview near us now from the cast of Oklahoma. He is nominated this afternoon for Best Leading Actor in a Musical. And then I can't work out who this is on the stairs. Oh, these are Mormons! Not actual Mormons.
Yeah,
These are the men of the cast of the Book of Mormon. The Book of Mormon, not nominated this year because it's not a new production, but it will be performing to celebrate an anniversary. Oh, I hope you can see Dan Partridge here from the cast of Grease. He's got an interesting exposed shoulder thing going on with the suit jacket. I quite like it. I don't know if you can see Beverly Knight over here getting interviewed. She's in a full latex dress with a gold statement necklace, and I'm obsessed with it. She looks amazing.
So although you might think when you go in through the paying entrance that you'll be separate from everyone, everybody moves a lot around that theatre. So
Yep.
one moment you'll be walking and realise that you're next to West End Olivier Award winners.
Lots
and
of
be like,
chances to
wow.
brush shoulders with the theatrical
Yes.
elite.
Very much that.
So you can buy tickets to be in the top levels. The people who are nominated for the awards tend to be on the flat floor or on the aisles of the sections going up from the stage so that they have fast access to the stage.
Basically, it's like all the awards, the film awards, it's exactly the same process that you see on TV. Because the Royal Albert Hall is so open, from upstairs, you can see where everybody, like, you can see majority of downstairs.
You can celeb spot. We spent a good few minutes going like, is that James Norton? Is that Jonathan Bailey? What dark-haired man is this?
Which you wouldn't be able to do if it was in a normal theatre because of the tiers.
Oh, the McDonald's is here, everyone.
Yay! So what I was about to say... Oh, what was also fun was that they live streamed the Oliviers internationally. Our friends over in the US, who were our Broadway friends, were watching the whole of the Oliviers, whereas our friends in the UK who weren't at the Oliviers had to listen to a radio feed and wait for the highlights reel.
Controversial.
Yeah, because they felt sad that our friends here couldn't watch it if they'd been involved in the shows or seen the shows or been invested.
I feel like you have more of the chips.
What have you got left?
My mozzarella dippers. Yeah. If anyone's interested, I ordered a large 5 chicken selects meal with an Oasis, chili dip, sweet chili dip, always, mozzarella dippers. How many burgers have you got?
We gained more food. I only ordered 2.
And Aeron has 3 burgers. There we go.
I feel like you might have gained a Big Mac and they realised afterwards that it was wrong.
Yeah. Oh, is there just like an actual Big Mac?
Yeah.
Big Mac? Okay, I also have a Big Mac. I've never had a Big Mac in my life. Maybe I'll have a Big Mac.
Yep, that's right.
In honour of May Mac. Big Mac for May Mac, who was nominated for Best Leading Actress in a Play for My Neighbor Totoro, but did not win. So that brings us nicely to talk about the winners of each category. We're going to speed through this because the video gets very long where we do every single category. Did we get the prediction right? And just any sort of brief thoughts about it. So, Olivier Award winners. Starting with, this is not in the order they were presented, but Best New Musical, Standing at the Sky's Edge won. Happy for them, and we both said this would win. We predicted this. We are anticipating news as early as tomorrow morning, do you think? News of a transfer.
It was imminent.
I grilled one of the creatives about it after the show, but they were not forthcoming on news of a transfer. Possibly they just haven't been told. I do not know.
They were very smiley.
I love that Chris Bush got to go on stage and give the speech.
Yes.
Because there is no category in the Olivier Awards for Best Book of a Musical. And I do think it's Chris Bush's book that makes the show such a masterpiece.
100% agree. So Paul Mescal won Best Actor, which
no
we
surprises.
guessed.
Yeah.
And then Katie Braidman for Tammy Faye, which
She's so pregnant.
she is very highly pregnant.
I tweeted about this and people would be like, so she's pregnant. So what? I need you to look at the pictures, or maybe I'll even put one in here. She's just really pregnant. She's really pregnant. So she didn't perform with the cast, but they sort of featured her in the performance, which was nice. And she made it on stage to give a speech. Thrilled for Katie Braidman. Again, I think all of these so far we both predicted.
Yeah.
And so we've done pretty well. Fine. So Prima Facie won Best Play. Jodie Comer won Best Actress for Prima Facie. It's about to go to Broadway. So the news here is this sets up Jodie very well. But also the play itself. The last 3 Olivier Award-winning Best Plays are all competing against each other this year for the Best Play Tony.
Yeah.
Leopoldstadt is in this season, as is the other one.
Life of Pi.
Life of Pi. Life of Pi. That one with the tiger. Yes. As is Prima Facie. And there are Pulitzer Prize winners like Fat Ham in the mix as well. Very hot season this year to be a new play on Broadway. Arthur Darvill won for Best Actor in a Musical. I think we both guessed him in the end. Happy for him. He gave a lovely speech. My Neighbor Totoro won for Best Entertainment or Comedy. Again, there was a lot of love for Rob Madge in the room when that nomination was read out. There was a big, big cheer, but it was always going to go to Totoro in that category. So My Neighbor Totoro swept the creative categories. Lighting design, costume design, set design, all went to Totoro.
Yep.
And sound design as well. Best Musical Revival, Oklahoma took it, as expected. No surprises there. Really, of the whole evening, no surprises. There weren't a lot of shocking twists.
No.
Matt Cole took choreography for Newsies.
Yep.
Phelan McDermott took director for My Neighbor Totoro. Arlene Phillips won the special award for Arlene Phillips, which would have been controversial if she hadn't. That would have been a big upset.
The reaction to her age was fascinating.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she said...
She just dropped it in.
She mentioned about being in her 8th decade because she's 79 according to Google, and the audible gasps around the auditorium of she does not seem or look
seem or act any
79.
age.
Hey Dougie won Best Family Show. Thrilled for them.
The band's visit left with nothing.
Yeah, the band's visit did not win anything. It was not a good night for the band's visit. It was not a good night for To Kill a Mockingbird. What was the other one we didn't get then? I'm so confused. We're going to talk through each category. Who do we think should win? Who do we think will win? And we're each going to guess.
Best entertainment or comedy play. Totoro and Totoro. Best set design. Totoro and Totoro. Best lighting design.
Totoro and Totoro. Best costume design. Have we both said Jean-Paul
Gaultier? Best sound design.
This is our first disagreement.
Best revival.
You got a streetcar across the board?
Yep. Best musical revival.
I have written Okla and Homer. The P word.
Me too. Original score or new orchestrations. Oh, we did go very different. Best actress in a supporting role.
I've gone for The Streetcar Effect. The ensemble cast of For Black Boys Who Consider Suicide When the Hue Gets Too Heavy.
Best actress.
You've gone for Jodie Comer, actor in a play. His name is Paul.
Best actress in a supporting role in a musical.
I agree that I think Beverly Knight will win.
Zubin Vala.
Zubin Vala.
Best actor in a musical.
We both think Arthur Darvill will win. We think Katie Braidman will win.
Best director. We did the same.
We did do the same.
It's the Gillian Lynn Award for Best Theatre Choreographer.
Newsies should, but...
Totoro for win. Best new play.
Going with Prima Facie.
Best new musical.
Standing at the sky's edge. Check back here and we will talk through who won. But some other discussion points about the evening. What was your favourite performance?
Probably Sylvia. Which wasn't where I thought it was going to go. But March Winner March was staged so beautifully in my
It was
theatre.
galvanising. It really worked.
It raised everybody's energy levels up. You could feel it palpitating. Which normally, at the Oliviers, every year I've been, it's been a solo performance that has done that. I think Miriam Masika gave a gorgeous performance for Omar Sharif.
That's the other one for me. That was bewitching and mesmerising.
Yeah.
Favourite speech? I'm going to go first because you can steal it otherwise. Sir Derek Jacobi. Beautiful, touching, incredible. And because it was the Laurence Olivier Awards, he gave this, touching eulogy for Sir Laurence Olivier, with whom he had worked very closely. The whole thing was very much not even really about him. He spoke about his experience and his career working with Sir Laurence Olivier. It was touching, it was profound, it was moving and heartwarming and just incredible, honestly.
In a similar way, I'd say Arlene. The real stirring part, I think, in Arlene's speech is when she was talking about the fact of she'd spent so long as the only female in creative teams and having to fight so hard to be this shouldn't be a male-dominated industry and like being such an advocate for new creatives and for female creatives and non-binary creatives, etc., to all have their place in the theatre.
Yep. Sorry, I was struggling to open my salsa dip.
And also Bev. Bev's speech meant a lot. I think partly because she's from my hometown, so it was so nice to see her finally being given the award to be like, we collectively say you are just theatre gold.
Some themes and speeches that I noticed.
Education was a big one.
Education and youth theatre. A lot of people paying tribute to youth theatre programmes they've been involved with. A lot of creatives talking about their children in various different capacities, which was very touching.
And heartbreaking.
And heartbreaking in different moments. And we have to discuss Richard Hawley's speech.
My face should say it all.
That was a moment. I mean, he's very rock and roll.
He is. It was when he walked over and just placed his drink on the ground.
That was my favourite part of his speech. So Richard Hawley spoke second, and while he was waiting for it to become his turn to speak, he put the Olivier Award on the floor. Like, he walked over, put the Olivier Award down on the floor, and he walked over to the other side of this very large stage and put his drink down over there, and then he walked back as if he was like placing things to like do some sort of ritual. It was slightly odd. Is it McDonald's Monopoly? And I didn't even know.
It's not Monopoly. It's called Winning Sips.
We won an apple pie, everybody. How waitress. But Richard Hawley gave a very long speech. They started the playoff music, and then he like refused to leave and like made it the audience's thing. He was like, do you want to hear the rest of this or not? And then people cheered, and he swore 9 times. Favourite presenter?
Oh, gosh. I can't get over when Tim Minchin came on. That whole segment with the two of them was iconic.
I liked Dieter Von Teese and Davina De Campo together.
That was fun.
That was a fun pair. I was like, yeah, you got a fun energy.
I can't wait for Davina De Campo to be in a show that's eligible.
SpongeBob, will SpongeBob not be?
It should be, yeah. Like, I think because after, that role's never been, well, at least when it was in America, it wasn't viewed as one of those roles. But
you're getting wildly ahead of yourself.
I just was
This is next year's video. Stop speculating about the 2024 awards. We're glad that Bev won because they had her perform twice.
It felt like the Oliviers just kind of lit up every time she came on stage.
And she was wearing, I need to tell you, she was wearing a latex dress on the green carpet. It's a green carpet, it's sustainable, it's grass. She was wearing a latex dress with a full sleeve. And for her to get into that, it needed a team of people to lubricate her. That's how you get into those dresses, if it's latex. She then got changed, different outfit and hair look for Sister Act, then got changed, different outfit and hair look for Sylvia, and she then got into a different sort of latex look dress that wasn't the green carpet one to win the award. She got changed 3 times. That's commitment to the evening. Waddingham wore 3 different dresses, all of which were great. Waddingham also killed the opening number, we have to say that.
And so nice to know that the first ever original song for the Oliviers was written by Pippa Cleary. Yay, British writers.
Who put a reference to My Son's a Queer in it. Here's my next segment. Who were the real winners of this year's Olivier Awards beyond just the people that won awards? Because you can win in other ways. For example, Liz Carr and The Ramp. So last year, Liz Carr won Best Supporting Actress in a Play and had to enter from backstage because she uses an motorized. She uses a motorized wheelchair, and she couldn't access from the auditorium, so she had to arrive to collect her award from backstage. And she acknowledged this in her speech and sort of admonished the Oliviers for their accessibility. This year, they had an amazing ramp that a lot of people used. Some people sort of jumped over stages of the ramp, but they had a ramp.
Yeah.
And did you notice she was wearing... So last year, she was wearing a dress that had her speech from the normal part on it, and she turned it into a jacket. This year, I believe. I believe it had been repurposed and retailored. And we love that. Renew, recycle, reduce, reuse. No. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Don't spill this oasis everywhere. Woo! I'm fine, everyone. That was an overreaction. I'm fine. Bev. Great night to be Bev.
Great night to be Bev, because I felt like it was just like a full showcase of her. Oh, a great night for Sinead Holmes.
Yes. Tell us why.
Sinead got to perform the In Memoriam song, but also got a lovely shout out by Hannah Waddingham beforehand to say this is a future star of. Oh, it was also a big win for Lea Salonga for the reaction from the audience when they announced that when people realised that Lea Salonga was about to stand on the stage.
I will also add, it was a great night for people. I was going to say specifically lesbians, but people who are attracted to women. But also lesbians. because you had a lot of televised Hannah Waddingham in sensational outfits. And that's not my sexual preference, but I get it.
It was a great night for Sadler's Wells for dance. They were linked to both of the winners. And for diversity in dance as well. It was really good to say that. It's not...
That was very encouraging. Across all of the, especially the creative recipients and Totoro, with the diversity of the team working on it, of Asian performers, but also...
Creators back behind the scenes.
Also creatives, but I was going to say also black creatives as well. I think it's great. It's really great to be able to celebrate something sweeping. A lot of times we can get caught up in just that one show that swept. But when it brings that level of diversity to the stage of an awards show, that's a really great achievement. So it's a win for diversity.
And a great night for the Bush in their 50th year to get their affiliate.
Yep. Who else were the real winners of the night? People who peed before they left the house.
It was like Broadway queues.
You got to go beforehand. Do not try and go in that interval, especially if you're a woman. It's simply not going to happen. People were fighting for their lives trying to get to the toilet in that interval, let me tell you.
It was a win for international viewers.
It was a win for international viewers. Yeah, it was a great time to be someone who wants to watch live but doesn't live in the UK. It was a win for VPNs. That's who it was a win for. But I think those have been our thoughts on the Oliviers. We've done fave performances. I agree with you, Sylvia. I think chose the best... or not even chose the best, but they were the best suited to that kind of awards. I would have liked to have a couple more solos in amongst the group stuff. Oklahoma opened with Georgina doing I'm Just a Girl That Can't Say No, which was surprising because...
Actually, that's probably another win was for her getting this big, massive showcase.
Yeah, but it was surprising because Marisha is nominated for that role. I didn't expect her to perform because she's now in Guys and Dolls. But I'm glad they featured Georgina. I think Georgina is sensational. And I think in any other reality, Tammy Faye as a show probably would have done one of Katie's big numbers. But again, she's super, super pregnant. So there you go. But those have been our thoughts on the Olivier Awards. Thank you so much for joining us for McDonald's and analysis. What other news do we think is going to emerge? By the time I post this, I don't know when I'm posting this video, the news may have already emerged. Standing at the Sky's Edge, West End transfer. Sylvia West End transfer.
Maybe.
Tammy Faye West End transfer.
Maybe, we know about Totoro. Sister Act West End return, because that got hinted at on the stage.
Waddingham was teasing it. She was putting it out there on the table.
And Sister Act have been teasing on their own socials, so that feels like it's coming.
Time will tell. Thank you for joining us. I have been Aeron James. This has been MickeyJoTheatre. And we have more McDonald's to eat, so we're going to leave you now. But I hope you have enjoyed our post-Oliviers analysis. And I hope that everyone is staying safe and that you have a stagey day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
For 10 more seconds, I'm MickeyJoTheatre. Oh my god, hey. Thanks for watching, have a stagey day. Subscribe!